Hi there. Today is April 2nd, 2025. I'm Jo Reingold, and I'm here interviewing Mimi Barnett. Hi, Mimi. Thank you for coming.
Hello.
So tell
I'm
us
so delighted to be here.
I would love to hear any and all of your recollections about being part of the Columbian Club.
I have so many.
Okay.
I have so many. It was
All right.
a wonderful part of my life for many years. And we actually, I've got a few pages here. I wrote down some things.
Okay.
And let me get to the first one, since I just added something my daughter told me, which I never would have put in here.
That's all right. Do you remember the years, while you're looking through that you were actually members?
Oh, forever.
About when it was?
Oh, goodness. Let me put all this together, and then I guess I can tell you.
Sure.
I used a cheat sheet for years, but I have memories, and I have a great memory for ideas and thoughts and whatever.
Okay.
Okay. Well, we shared so many multi-generational family friendships at the Columbian Club. It was really it was a home away from home. We raised all our children together, and it was a very safe place for our children to wander and to play. It was extremely sexist. Memberships were the names of the men, not transferable to widows. A friend of mine's mother was widowed twice, divorced once, and lost her memberships all the time. So they always had to be repurchased by her new husband. Years later, I stood up and we changed that. Made a speech about her. And but in those days, only men were members, and female friends of male members could enjoy unlimited privileges off of the members' club membership. So whereas families were excluded after death of the man had unlimited pleasure from the club. The men's grill was off limits to females. If I needed my father, I had to ask a waiter to go fetch him or deliver a message to him. Was not able to go in, and I was just a young child. I was a teenager or whatever.
Well, let me ask you, Mimi, what was the grill, for those who don't know? You're saying it was off limits?
Well, it was we had the clubhouse, the large dining room, but we also had a private, like a boardroom that was more elegant.
So that was all men?
And that was all men. Okay. And even children, girls, no skirts were allowed in. So we belonged for 3 generations. My father, my brother, my husband, my nephews, and my sons Darren and Morty. They all were members, and the club brought together members throughout the entire city. And this was a delightful thing because members of the Orthodox, Reform, temples, all were able to raise their families together in this atmosphere. So it was really a wonderful opportunity to expand. I don't recall if we had non-Jewish members because, of course, the Columbian Club was the answer to Jews not being allowed in the Dallas Country Club.
Right.
And but we had so many things with non-Jewish people, and of course our golf club. Our golf course.
I was going to say,
delightful.
I think that golfing probably attracted some non-Jews, but maybe not the rest of it. So.
Well, I don't remember, what the bylaws were because, it wasn't anything that was on my radar.
Right.
Let's see, this is the last page. We had buffet and bingo every Thursday night, and those were highlights. And my daughter Shelley read to Herbie Weitzman's daughters, who were a little bit younger than she was. And Fred Ablon, was Herbie's brother-in-law, and he was a championship guy for and I call him Herbie because I knew him, from the time he was very young. It's Herbert Weissman. And the Sunday evening casual buffets were unlike anything. We would just decide at the last minute and just, talk to people and say, I'll meet you at the club at 6. Mm-hmm. And they had a wonderful buffet, and they had incredible desserts, and the kids would play together. My mother played golf in the inter-club ladies' leagues, and she refused to use the women's tees, which were provided for the women. I walked the grounds when I played golf, and the caddy carried my bag. New Year's Eves, rehearsal dinners, weddings, bar mitzvahs, anniversary parties, and baby namings marked our family milestones. I remembered when I was in college, I was in high school dating a medical student, and I went to sit on a couch at a formal that was held there, and picked up a pillow, and 2 mice ran out from under it because it was out in the boondocks. There wasn't a lot out there.
I want to ask you, you said your dad was a member.
Yes.
Previous generation.
Yes.
Was he at the original location, or was he already in Carrollton?
No, we were at Carrollton.
Just Carrollton?
We weren't at the original.
Okay,
no.
All right.
We
I wasn't sure if he had moved yet to that one.
No, because we didn't live there.
Mm-hmm.
We always lived, we lived in Highland Park, and then we lived north. So
yeah.
We weren't part of the South Dallas group.
Okay.
Labor Day celebrations were really a highlight, and the club closed for 2 weeks, and previous to that, Mr. Osborne, the incredible manager who provided unbelievable food. The waste was must have been exorbitant, but he emptied out the refrigerators and the freezers and auctioned off all the food for the annual auction, Labor Day, before the club closed and got cleaned up and ready for the next year. It closed for 2 weeks, and so people would get huge rounds of Jarlsberg steaks and all of the wonderful things that they had. When a member brought Japanese visitors to the club to play golf, they were absolutely amazed at the empty golf course. Whoops. Let's see. Where they could play any time without reservations. They couldn't believe it. So let's see. Did I read this already? Nostalgia for weekly contact with families included Adele Harrison, Mayor Laura Miller, the Woolens family, Councilwoman Adele Harrison, the Aarons, the Zidels, the Donskis, the Becks, the Zales, the Lipschys, the Howard Cohens, the family of Dr. Zeke Lieberman and the Weitzmans, the Verislavs, the Gasworths, the Levines, the Kaplans, the Ornishes, should have had that water, the Feinsteins, the Rabinowitzes, the Rutchicks, the Ginsbergs, the Westons, the Greens, the Wolframs, Bernie Shannon, Jake Feldman, and the ever-colorful Duke Rudman holding court, wearing his steel-pointed boots and surrounded by, always had a young girl on one knee, and he was an oil man, and was really a story in itself. His granddaughter is collecting information on him to write a book, and it should be quite amazing. His wife actually played, she was a lovely lady, and she played golf with my mother. And when my mother had surgery and wasn't able to play, and really didn't share that information a lot, she showed up at the doorstep of my mother's apartment behind the green wall, and she brought a huge bag of all kinds of goodies. She had food, she had games, she had little crystal boxes, she had toys. She was a lovely, lovely woman. And my daughter just reminded me something that I wouldn't have said, that when we played golf, at the Columbian Club, I was with my mother on the golf course, and she found an egg, and she had wanted me to have more children. And so she put it in the trunk of my car, thinking it would create some fertility, and did not know that. But the car started to stink after a few weeks in the sun. Sure enough, I got pregnant.
Oh boy!
With Morty. So that was. Let's see what else I had. Did that. And did I do the children under 3 age free? No.
No.
Much to my father's glee, the staff indulged and welcomed members or our children. And my son Morty had a particular way, even as a baby, to attract people who loved to feed him and play with him, especially the waiters who brought him multiple portions of Black Forest cake, which he loved, and they loved giving it to him. And my father was so excited that he didn't have to pay for any of their food. And my family ate pretty good, even when they were little. 4th of July celebrations on the lawn featured fireworks across the lake, as well as swimming and potato sack races, and blue ribbons and medals. Columbian Club medals for different places were awarded. We played tennis indoors with Mike and Sylvia Morris. They were our pros, and we competed in inter-club leagues. Mike was ranked number 1 in men's singles in Texas, and Morty and Michael were trained by the Morrises, becoming their first ranked players, along with Adam Blumenfeld. Our families traveled to tournaments together, and we became dear friends. Our children went to summer school. No, not school, camp.
Right.
With the Morris children. And 6-year-old Michael was carrying a golf bag larger and taller than himself. Our boys caught catfish in the lake and gave them to the kitchen staff for themselves so they could fry them and eat them. Let's see, do I have anything else?
Let me ask you
Right.
something important.
Right, and you wanted to know the date.
No, I just wanted to know, in your opinion, or maybe even factual that you know about, why do you think the Columbian Club had ended, and how and when did it end, if you remember?
Well,
Why did it end? That's more important.
Well, it was a matter of, let me think a minute, because there was quite a story there. Put the cart through. Horses before the cart. They started losing members because of the assessments. And because of the greater amount that needed to be paid to keep the club going.
Right.
Because the kitchen was fantastic, the other services were fantastic. Tennis didn't bring any money in, and people had their own swimming pools, and it no longer was, and people started to travel, to other cities for holidays. But mostly the fact that majority, I don't know what the numbers were, but they really I mean, so many people did not play golf or did not play tennis. They only came for the social.
Mm-hmm.
And we had, huge parties. Did I say New Year's Eve too?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
we had celebrations there all
right.
the time.
Do you
And
think?
so
I
they
think,
did not want to pay the large fees that
Right.
were necessary to support the golf. And then I guess the memberships must have gone up, and we lost a lot of members. And I guess because like I said, people traveled everywhere. And this was not necessarily where they spent their major holidays anymore.
mm-hmm.
So, and then of course, with.
Do you think? I think another factor. What do you think about the fact that now, at that point in Dallas, Jews were allowed into other country clubs, whereas, like you said previously, they were not.
I don't think so, because I think the Columbian Club was so superior.
Oh, okay.
And then actually when it disbanded, so many of the other clubs took them, the members.
Mm-hmm.
And unbeknown to us why, we thought that we would transfer to, what was it, one of the clubs out north that everybody went. We were blackballed.
Really?
Don't know why. we didn't pass. We didn't pass. We had lunch with the committee, a couple of them, and I think the fact that I voiced my feelings may have had something to do with it, or somebody had a grudge.
I didn't know
I
that.
think that was also because actually Mitch had been playing tennis without. The tennis club also the tennis is never brings money. And so the tennis pro at this other club, I won't mention it, would invite Mitch to come play. And his friend, who, Hyman Childs, was he a member? I don't recall. But he actually played there without getting the permission of the board. So that may have had something to do with it, but we were blackballed, so.
That's a shame.
Yeah.
Boy, I didn't
And
know
we
that.
we actually had recommendations written by like a neighbor who wasn't Jewish, and thought we had great recommendations, but
Yeah.
they either didn't like me because I was honest, or they certainly didn't like the fact that Mitch had been playing illegally.
Okay. Okay. Out of all the wonderful memories you had, I wanted to wrap this up by asking you a question that may be difficult for you, but what would you say was your absolute highlight of being a member of the Columbian Club?
Just having contact with these families and having our kids grow up together.
Wonderful memories, right?
Get to know. Oh, yes. I mean, so very often I speak to people like Lisa Lieberman that I just spoke to, and they say, we really miss the Columbian Club. I haven't seen you for a long time, because I used to play tennis with Lisa, and we did, we were played interleague with other clubs, and just so many friendships that we just don't see those people on a regular weekly basis. And I think we all feel like that we lost something there, very much so.
Do you think it would be successful if they tried to reopen the Columbian Club today with all the features that it had?
Well, I don't know that the clubs are very popular anymore because people travel so much. And the elite, of course, now it's turned into a club where the membership is just, $100,000 or something. So it's very elite.
Right.
And so I don't think that, people, like with tennis, they can go to the tournaments all over the world. They can fly there. So, it just isn't the same as just driving down Belline.
Right. And there you are, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I appreciate your interview. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you,
Thank you.
Jo, for doing this.
Sure.
It was fun.
Thanks.